Darby Allin on AEW being happy in the locker room. This is another thing we talked about beforehand. You were like, so everybody's on the same wavelength. The cancer got cut out. Egotistical wrestlers who do not want to lose. He's being very, very mysterious about this. Now, some people have suggested he's talking about CM Punk. Other people say he isn't talking about CM Punk, but he may well be talking about the Rusevs and Aleister Blacks of AEW at the time, who came in from WWE and then all of a sudden just weren't losing matches kind of thing. And I was looking at Aleister Black specifically. He barely lost in 3 years, but he wasn't a main eventer. I always thought that was a bit interesting. I think he even beat Cody Rhodes back in there. What do you think of Darby's All Friends Wrestling then?
What do I think of Darby's what?
All Friends Wrestling. So he's talking about in 2025 how wonderful the locker room is these days, and happiness and harmony since the mysterious cancer got cut out of the locker room.
So you think he's talking about those guys or CM Punk?
Who do you think he's talking about? Because he's talking about egotistical wrestlers who didn't want to
CM
lose.
Punk is Black and Russo still they're around that much?
Well, everyone's now in WWE. All three of them are in WWE now.
Okay. Well, I don't know who he's talking about, to tell you the truth. I think more CM Punk than anything else. It's what I think he's talking about. I don't think the other two guys mattered that much over there. But they could have mattered, I'm not going to do this, and I can't do that. But it's not their fault either. I will say this in defense of Rusev and Mr. Black. They are their own property. So whatever they do in the ring might hurt them in the long run. And they have to protect what they have. Now, and what does it matter to him anyway? If they're saying, I'm not going to do this with this guy, and then that's not his job. That's Tony's job. And if they don't want to do it, and Tony should have known that beforehand, but I've seen guys like that, and they don't last long. What can you do with them? I mean, if a booker has to go in there, and if a booker is afraid or hesitant to tell a guy that he's not going to go over, then either the talent needs to move over or leave, or the booker needs to move over or leave. Because if you go in there and you want a guy, say, I want you to put this guy over, and you said, I don't think that doesn't go over with me. And maybe if you give me a good enough reason, that's okay. And it's also according to whether you say that in front of somebody else. So if you say it in front of another talent and you don't get beat that night and you change it, that spreads. Because now the booker won't stand his ground. So it's either, if you tell somebody to do something and they don't do it, it's either you or the talent. And that's why a lot of bookers lose any kind of power they had. And because when I was booking, when I told somebody, and I didn't tell somebody to go down for no reason. It was always in the big scheme of things. So, and that is a problem. So I don't know what cancer he's talking about, but I think he's talking about CM Punk, I think.
Well, if he's talking about CM Punk, the interesting thing is that when
it was so long ago.
Well, one, it was long ago, a long time ago. Two, there have been no problems in WWE with CM Punk. And three, AEW's ratings collapsed after CM Punk left and they've never recovered. So, I mean, it's almost balancing the perception of somebody who is your biggest draw that you should cater to. Because, I mean, if you compare There's actually two things that happened revolving Punk. One, when Punk left, and then the ratings fell down. And then when the Young Bucks showed the Wembley Stadium backstage footage brief skirmish with Jungle Boy. And as soon as people watched that, I think, for the most part, the ratings dived even further after that. They never really recovered. So, I mean, if basically your cancer, if that's how you term somebody your cancer, is also your biggest draw and kind of who the company's relying on to get to that next level, then are they a cancer?
I don't know. I have to think on this some more.
Okay, we'll move on then. Well, it's one more thing Darby said was he got an offer from WWE. When WWE was the only game in town, essentially, yes, I had talks with them because I was part of their sister company at the time called Evolve. Then I saw the writing on the wall, 205 Live. My money is in David versus Goliath matches, so essentially 205 Live was cruiserweight only. So when I heard AEW was starting, I went, nope, I gotta go. So basically he turned down WWE because they were going to pigeonhole him as a cruiserweight only, and he didn't want to do that. Right, Kota Ibushi.
Hey, I don't blame him for not going to WWE. Look how AEW treats him. He's treated like a huge star.
Hey, he's treated like a prospective world champion over there.
And I don't blame him for not going somewhere else. And you would never hear of him in WWE, I don't think. You may for a while, but yeah, he's treated much, much, much better, about probably 3 times better in AEW than he'd be treated in WWE. And that's not saying his talent goes down; they just don't have room for him.